Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm really excited for today's video. We are going to be talking about makeup products that add value to my collection. I had one of you guys comment on my video about unexpected makeup favorites and ask if I could discuss products in my collection that I feel like truly add value to my makeup collection. So not just like your everyday average Joe, just makeup item that's kind of there. When I thought about this, I thought about products that almost are like dual purpose, or truly I feel like I would be missing something in my makeup collection if I didn't have this product. So I have 13 products to discuss with you guys today. If you're interested, stay tuned. First, if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, I hope you'll consider subscribing before you leave today. I do post a minimum of 4 times a week, so if that's something that interests you, then don't forget to subscribe before moving on. And other than that, let's just jump into the video. Alright, I never really know what's going on with my hair, but we're just gonna roll with it down for right now. Alright you guys, like I mentioned in the introduction, I really tried to grab products to discuss that I feel like truly serve a purpose in my collection, and my collection would be missing something truly if I was without these 13 products that I'm about to discuss with you. I am going to go in order that I would do my makeup. So starting with this product right here, I have mine in the trial size, and I actually have the full size of this currently on its way to me. I feel like it's, and I get it, my Sephora orders, like I'll order something and it's like a month later before I receive it, but this is on its way to me. It was supposed to arrive today and now it's looking like it'll be a couple more days. But this is the Drunk Elephant De-Bronzy Anti-Pollution Sunshine Drops, and I really love this product for a couple of reasons. This is my second trial size that I've gone through. So I've gone through a full trial size, which shockingly lasts probably a good 30 uses. But this is a skincare product. It has skincare benefits to it. And second of all, this really helps me match specifically my tinted moisturizers to my body in the summertime. I was wearing this all the time last summer. I feel like with self-tan, it's really hard because, you know, I feel like you're almost just a different shade every single day. So it's very hard for me, at least, to find or to figure out how to get my foundation to match my body. And these have been a godsend for that reason. I just mix in, you know, 1 pump, 2 pumps, pending whatever shade my body is. I'll mix in some of these drops to a foundation to deepen it up, give me a summer glow. And even if I'm not using foundation but want my face to match my body a little bit more, I will just wear these on their own as well. So I feel like these serve a huge purpose to my makeup collection. I feel like these could add value to many people's makeup collection, and I definitely recommend these from Drunk Elephant. Next up, you guys know how much I love First Aid Beauty primers, so naturally it wouldn't be a video that I'm making unless I mention First Aid Beauty primers. I could be discussing my favorite snacks and somehow I would be able to bring in First Aid Beauty primers. So we have the Coconut Skin Smoothing Priming Moisturizer. This one is great if you have like normal to dry skin and are looking for a little bit of a glow. It's also going to add hydration without being too hydrating. So I love this one. This is one of my favorites just because it also smells like coconut, and it's just an all-time favorite primer of mine. Then we have the Pores Be Gone Matte Primer. This one is amazing if you want a primer that's going to smooth your skin a little bit but still be a little bit hydrating. If you have normal to dry skin and you are looking for a smoothing primer but you feel like there's a lot of primers that are too drying, too mattifying, or just like they pill up on your dry skin, I definitely recommend checking this one out from First Aid Beauty. And even if you have oily skin and you love a pore filling primer, I feel like this would be one that you would really enjoy. This one is my go-to when I'm looking for a smoothing primer, and I think this one is really nice. And then most recently, the Ultra Repair Hyaluronic Hydrating Primer. Feels hydrating on the skin again, but this one almost has a grip to it. This one feels like a gripping primer to me, which I really appreciate, because even though the Milk Makeup, for example, the Milk Makeup Blur Primer, I think it's the Blur, it has that like interesting gel-like consistency. Because of the stickiness to it, there's something about that primer that even though you would think maybe it feels hydrating, it just almost is like too sticky that it just doesn't feel hydrating, whereas this feels hydrating but still offers a really nice grip to the primer and does a nice job at making my makeup last longer. So all three of these serve a specific purpose in my primer collection. I think it's great, especially if you're, I mean, all of our skin changes, you know, from day to day, even though mostly, you know, I have dry skin or whatever, my skin needs can change from day to day. So I do think it's nice to have a range of primers in my collection so that I can select one that's going to serve my skin's purpose for that day. So I really, you guys know I really recommend the First Aid Beauty primer line. All right, no matter how hard I try, I just cannot not do a ponytail. So we're rolling with this now. Next up, I do have one foundation to talk about, and it is the It Cosmetics CC Cream. I have the illuminating version. I have also gone through a full size of the original. I just personally prefer the illuminating because I feel like the original can take the life out of my face a little bit, so I prefer the illuminating one. But this is an incredible product if you are out in the sun a lot in the summer, if you are looking for some nice sun protection from what you're putting on your face. I have a really bad habit of forgetting to put on SPF, etc., but this is my best friend in the summer. Even when I have not gone in with an SPF or a sun protection product with my skincare routine or before putting my makeup on, this has always protected my face from getting burnt and from the sun. Now, I don't want to say like my word is the word and have, you know, you go out and purchase this and put it on your face and then you get sunburned, but this has never steered me wrong. And this is, while this isn't my favorite product for my face, like it's definitely not my favorite finish for foundation, etc., I just know how well this works for me to protect me from the sun, so I always go for this in the summer, and it's just a product that I plan to always have in my collection because it offers me that sun protection and still has a nice finish. Again, just not my favorite, but I really love this product from It Cosmetics. I wasn't going to mention a concealer, but then I was thinking about it and I feel like the Kosis Concealer just adds a little something special to my collection. What I really love about this concealer is you can just go in with a couple of dots and really sheer this out, and it's going to help to just brighten underneath the eyes, but it's not going to obviously offer much for coverage. But if you are looking for a little bit more coverage, perhaps you brought this traveling with you, and you know, there's days where you don't need much coverage, but then in the evening time you want more coverage but you only want to pack one concealer, you can layer this, or you can add just a little bit more product and you can get a nice medium coverage. You're not going to get full coverage from this concealer, but you can get a nice medium coverage from this concealer. This is a really nice. I feel like this just is almost dual purpose in a sense of it just builds really nicely on itself, so you can manipulate the coverage in this, which I think not all concealers you can do. Obviously you can go with less product with specific concealers and get a lighter coverage, but not quite like I have experienced with this concealer. So I know that Kosis is expensive, but overall the brand also just really intrigues me, and I really love this, and I've really fallen in love with this one this year. Another face type of product, I don't even know how I would necessarily categorize this product, but it's the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Filter. It's not a foundation, it's like it's a highlighting product. You can use this all over your face and it's just going to offer you a little hint of coverage but make you look incredibly glossy and glowy without looking greasy, in my opinion. Or you can use this as a liquid highlight. You can just use this in so many different ways. It's such a unique product, and I know there's lots of liquid highlights on the market, but nothing quite like this. There are so many liquid highlights that if I put it all over my face, I would truly look like the Tin Man. But this, you don't. It just offers you a light layer of coverage and makes you look just almost like you just went for a run, but not in a bad way. I don't know how to describe it. And it took me a little bit to figure out how to use this product on my skin. There was a little bit of a learning curve, which I feel like this is like, you either love this product or hate this product, and until you take the time to learn how the product is going to work for you and your skin, it can be a little bit frustrating and it can feel like you wasted like $45 for however much this cost. But once I figured out how to make this work for my skin, I truly fell in love with it. Again, I don't have any product in my collection quite like this, and you get a ton of product in this. I feel like I use this quite a bit, but I'm nowhere near being done with this. But when I do finish this, I would absolutely repurchase, because I just think it's a really unique, really cool product, and I really like this one from Charlotte Tilbury as well. The Cover FX duos, both the bronzer and blush duos, truly add a lot of value to my collection. This is the blush duo in Soft Peach, and then I have my bronzing duo in Sunkissed Bronze, favorite bronzer in my collection. There is something about the shade of this that just works really, really well for my skin tone. What I love about these is, first of all, they are very, very pigmented. You have to be a little bit careful, specifically with the blushes, and just bear in mind that they are pretty pigmented, but that also makes them really easy to use as well. Just don't go in with too much so that you're not blending for days. But I love that you are offered the matte side, the shimmer side. You can mix, you can do so many different things with these, and I think that their shade selection is really nice as well. They do only have 2 bronzing duos, so perhaps they could expand that a little bit, but I really like their shade selection for the blushes, and these add so much value to my collection. Truly, if I lost the majority of my blushes and only had these and like Buxom Seychelles and Hourglass Mood Exposure, I wouldn't be too upset about it. I truly do believe if you have a more minimalistic makeup collection and are just looking to add one blush or one bronzer, these just offer, you know, something extra that you can do, since they are the duos, and I just really enjoy these, so I definitely recommend these from Cover FX. I also had to mention the Fenty Kilowatt highlights. First of all, Lightning Dust and Fire Crystal, which is the shade I'm holding right here, is like my perfect highlight shade. I love the more subtle side. What I love about these highlights, I've talked about this many times on my channel, is just that, again, you are offered the subtle side, the intense side. You can mix the two, you can really do whatever. And again, Fenty Beauty offers a really nice range of shades. I don't know, I really do feel like this highlight adds something extra to my collection that I don't have. For me, because this works so well for my skin, I just haven't found like an icy champagne that works quite like this, which could be another reason that I think that this adds so much value to my collection. But if you have yet to check out the Fenty Kilowatt highlighters, see if there's a shade for you. I just think that these are so good. I have 2 face palettes to discuss. You guys know I love the Cali Contour Kit, and this truly just adds so much value to any makeup collection, assuming that the shades work for you. It would be nice if they had like 3 or 4 different options. I do know that they released a second Cali Contour, but it seemed to be mostly blush in that second one, not necessarily just like a deeper version of this. But in this, you're getting a contour shade, a bronzer shade, a setting shade, a blush, and 2 highlights. And just about every product in this palette works for me. Even the highlights weren't my favorite at first. I mean, granted, they're not my favorite highlighters within my entire makeup collection, but if I was just going away for the weekend and didn't want to pack much makeup, I could just toss this in a bag and I would pretty much be good for my entire face. So I just love that. For face palettes, I don't reach for face palettes that often, but when something is like an all-encompassing face palette and I can get a whole face out of it, then I'm, you know, willing to reach for it a little bit more. So you guys have heard me say it so much, I just think this is such a good face palette. And then when thinking about adding value to my makeup collection, I truly do believe that the Aurora Glow Kit from ABH just adds a little something extra to my collection. Not only does this offer me a couple of highlights that I feel like can work on my face, obviously makeup has no rules, any of these could technically work on my face, but from day to day, I do feel like Eclipse and Lyra can work as just like an everyday highlight for me. They have a little bit more of a pink pull, so if you don't like a pink toned highlight, you're not going to like these, but I love pink tone highlights. But I also love this palette for inner corner highlighting. I have been having a lot of fun playing with color. I played with color again today. I've been really into playing with like blues, purples, and pinks lately. So reaching in for like a colorful highlight for the inner corner, I love to have options, and I've been reaching into this one a ton. This one over Moonchild, I feel like adds just a little bit more to my collection because Moonchild is so icy. It's better for inner corner highlights sometimes on the eyes, but as far as like using it on my face as a highlight, it's just a no-go for me, whereas this one I can use as both an inner corner highlight and a face highlight. So I think for me, the Aurora Glow Kit definitely adds something to my makeup collection. All right, for eyes, this is by no means my favorite eyeshadow palette in my collection, but I truly do believe the Urban Decay Born to Run palette does add a lot of value to my collection. I like this palette a lot. I really do. I love that it has, you know, a lot of neutral matte shades, which are beautiful. It has some of my, like, some fave shades in here for me. I love Blaze, Stranded, and Ignite. And then as far as like neutral shades, Riff is just one of my favorite like mid-toned transition shades. But what I love about this palette and what I think that it adds to my collection is it has neutrals, but it has wearable pops of color, because most of, if not all of the color, the only like colorful matte shades are Hellride, which is not a great shade, and Baja. But because the shimmers are all, or because the color is all shimmer shades, I just feel like it makes them a little bit less intimidating, a little bit more easy to use, and a little bit more wearable. So if I am wanting to play with color but not feeling like spending a ton of time on my makeup, or feeling like a little bit intimidated that day by color but still know I want to use color, I don't know if that makes sense. And I just think, especially for someone who doesn't have 70 eyeshadow palettes in their collection, and they're mostly a neutral loving person, but they're wanting to add a little bit of color to their collection, I just think that this palette is such a great option. I know that this goes on sale from time to time, so snagging this at half off I feel like is just truly a steal. I don't know, I love this one, you guys. Again, this one's nice for travel too. You get the nice large mirror. I always appreciate a palette that flips over. I don't know what that is. Maybe it's because, you know, it's nice to flip it over when you're filming YouTube videos, but it's so nice to travel with, very sturdy. I feel like my shadows are safe. I've traveled with this quite a bit and haven't had any shadows break. You know, there's been a few that my daughter has dug into with her nails, as she always does, and still my palette is in pretty good shape, pretty good condition. So this one I think adds a ton of value and could add a ton of value to many people's eyeshadow collection, so had to recommend that. And then also the Kasha Beauty Bento Trios. I have two of them. I have Glowing Guava and Chocolate Dahlia. I'm definitely interested in picking up more. These I love because they're just so cute and easy and compact. These I love for their size, and they're just very obviously curated because it's 3 shades. And if you just need a quick look and you don't want to think about it, you can just grab one of these. The formula is one of the softest formulas I've ever felt in my life. It's so smooth, so easy to work with, and so easy to blend. And again, if you were traveling, these would be really nice for travel because they're just really easy to just toss in a makeup bag, and you could choose like 2 or 3 of these, toss it with, and just very easy eye looks. I think that these add a ton of value and could add a ton of value to just about anyone's collection. Again, if you are like staying at a friend's house overnight and you don't want to pack too much but you want to have makeup, you could just grab, you know, one of these, toss it in your bag, and you're good to go. So I really am a fan of the Kasha Beauty Bento Trios. The Glow Recipe Watermelon Glow Ultra Fine Mist. This is by far the best glow mist I have found. One, because it offers such a nice mister. I always have to like give an example. I always do that. With this, I feel like because you are getting such a fine mist, it disperses really nice and evenly throughout the face. So you don't get, like, I feel like sometimes with the Pixie Glow Mist, it would just be, you would spray 2 sprays on and instantly it would look like you had gone too far, you know what I'm saying? I sometimes got that with the ABH Dewy Glow Mist as well. I think those are, trying to think of what other glowy mists I've tried. Anyway, I really love this one. This is my 2nd bottle of this. This is something that I will repurchase when I finish. I love this as well because sometimes if I am like in the middle of my makeup routine and I've gone in with like MAC Fix Plus to kind of tone down my powders, but I still feel like I'm looking too dry or too matte, I'll just spray 1 or 2 sprays in the middle of my makeup application with this, and I just feel like it adds that life back to my life. It adds that hint of a glow that makes you still look like you have a pulse. So that is my feelings on the Glow Recipe Ultrafine Mist. And then finally, the Kopari lip glosses. You guys know I love. I talk about these quite often on my channel as well. What I love about these and the value that I think these add to my collection is it is a nourishing lip gloss. So you're getting the benefit of a lip gloss, but also the benefit of, I'm going to add a little bit of Birthday Suit. You're getting the benefit of a lip gloss, but I also find these to be nourishing to the lips. And I feel like if my lips are really chapped, if I'm constantly reapplying this, by the end of the day, I feel like my lips feel a lot better, whereas sometimes lip glosses will dry the lips out. I don't get that with these. I currently have the shade Birthday Suit, which is the one I just put on, which is like a shimmery champagne nude shade. And then I also have Pinkini, which I really love. It's the sheer like hot pink or hot fuchsia shade, and I think it is really beautiful for the summer. I've also owned the clear in the past, and the clear is something I do anticipate I will own again because it's just really nice to have a clear, nourishing lip gloss. So I definitely recommend these from Kopari. I've mentioned these before on my channel. You guys know how I feel about them. So yeah, after that, that is going to conclude today's video talking about products that I feel like add a little something extra to my makeup collection. I would love to hear from you guys in the comments below and hear what products you have in your makeup collection that you feel like add extra value or just add a little something extra that you don't get from some of your other makeup products throughout your collection. Thank you guys so much as always for sticking around to watch today's video and for supporting my channel, and I will catch you in my next one. Bye!